this is Random Fandom Chats, and I'm Tandra.
I'm Dee Dee.
And this is Annabeth.
And this is Derek.
Hi, how you doing?
As you all know, we get together and we talk about pretty much anything sci-fi related, comics, books, movies, TV shows, and so today we have a special guest. This is Derek Edwards from White Rabbit Books in Muncie. And the reason why we brought him is because our topic today is about Lost in Space, the old TV show from the 60s, and unfortunately, we are not as versed on anything that goes back farther than the 70s as well. I do remember seeing the show growing up a little bit, and Dee Dee watched a little bit of it. But
and I'm old as Methuselah, so...
So he knows a little bit more. So we brought him along today to hear about some of what he knows and some of his opinions and thoughts on it and all that. So...
Well, when you asked me to come on to this, I decided, well, maybe I'll refresh my memory, so I watched a bunch of episodes, and... well, it's interesting. It's one of those, boy, I remember this being better when I was 6 years old.
It is one of those, well,
It's so much more campier now.
as I was mentioning to you when we were just kind of chatting a little bit, it was one that never really appealed to me much, because it came on reruns when I was a child, and I watched a lot of science fiction, whatever I can get my hands on, pretty much,
yeah.
but it just was not one that I was really excited to watch, and I don't know if it was the campy nature of it that did that, or...
Which is kind of weird because I've only seen the first season, but it really didn't seem any more campy to me
Well,
than
it got more
original
so.
series Star
yes.
Trek.
It got more so in the second and third season.
Yeah, and for me, I was between 4 to 6 when it was on the air originally, and then, of course, went into reruns almost instantly, so I grew up watching it, and at that age, I loved it. It seemed really, just right there for a kid. Mm-hmm. Star Trek was actually a little over my head, I think, at that point.
Yeah, I think it would be for 4 or 6 year olds. For most of them.
I mean, even at 7 and 8, I think I preferred Lost in Space to Star Trek. But then, as you got older, you start to say, oh my God, what am I watching?
This was really corny.
Well, the only thing I truly remember about it a lot is I always remember the Doctor was always getting Will Robinson in trouble. He was always leading them off on a path somewhere to go, hey, let's go over here and do this. And Will's like, I don't know. Do you really want to do that? He was always kind of the smart one of the two. And he was always, and I always remembered that part, really well. And for some reason, I remember the Doctor's eyes. They always seem like these really bulgy eyes.
He's creepy.
Yeah. Now, it's really funny because I did watch, the first about 3-4 episodes, in an order, and he is actually sinister in the very first episode.
He's
evil.
He's pretty evil.
And he's constantly pulling guns on people. He's ordering the robot to kill them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember from the first episode, not the original pilot didn't get picked up because he wasn't even in that, but in the first one, he's actually a traitor. He has gone on board the ship and set the robot basically to destroy everything when they're in deep space for a unnamed enemy, country,
probably,
Russia or China at the time.
Yeah, whatever.
They don't
he's the bad guy, really. I mean, truly the bad guy. Not just, but I think he becomes more of a buffoon later on.
Oh, definitely.
Does he?
I think that's mostly the way they portray him later. Is he just kind of stupid and silly and
weird because
but he was always trying to get stuff for his own gain,
own
and whatever.
purposes.
Yeah, that was what he always wanted.
I'm surprised the family doesn't leave him on a rock.
We're done here.
We're done with you now.
They're in so many episodes where it's like they actually like, us, we want Dr. Smith back, came back to the island, thinking,
What?
later. Yeah, I just did later.
Bye. More trouble than you're worth. Go away now.
It's like, you order robots to incinerate us. We're good with leaving you behind.
Now, I will say Robbie the Robot's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean...
When he's not being influenced by the Doctor.
when the Doctor isn't ordering him around, he's pretty cool. I mean...
And again, when the first series, he had no personality. He was strictly a robot.
Right.
He was being programmed by the Doctor, so he was following his orders. And again, the Doctor was ordering him to, electrocute people and kill them if he got a chance to.
What the heck? I mean,
He was supposed to be, he's the medical doctor that examined them before going on the flight. He's a major in the military. He actually had a rank. Now, of course, later on they say you're not even a real doctor, and they just totally scrap all that by season 3.
So he's just a spy or what?
No,
he just somebody ended up being on the ship.
Yeah, he's just a buffoon. He really was just a clown.
Yeah, he really got goofy. I mean, you haven't seen those yet, but they really made him.
They really just
they really did.
Yeah,
it was really weird.
I am not trying to suggest anything about his sexual proclivities, but Oscar Wilde only wishes he was as flighty. I'm sorry. That's how he really does come off as like some kind of camp from.
And back in the 60s, that would have been considered, I don't know, just not as.
Yeah, I mean,
well, it's obviously not politically correct, so obviously they had to do it kind of on the sly. But that they also made him the bad guy.
And there is no like, yes, he's a gay character. I think no, but he's extremely flighty. He is very, he's a scaredy cat. He has a very womanly scream. I mean, it's just, they're trying to make him as foolish as possible. So it's
almost like saying that, well, because he's like this, he just isn't worth anything. It was just a very 60s kind of attitude.
Very 60s attitude.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of weird.
Attitude.
Oh, yeah, the whole show. I mean, and if you watch it, you'll see there's always some kind of, the kids always learn a certain lesson about life throughout
very
it.
60s there, too.
You gotta be preachy.
Yeah, a little bit. You gotta have, if the kids are gonna watch it, they gotta get something out of it.
Dad usually had some speech with, well, now you know better and you won't do this next time, children.
Well, and you notice how, too, it was one of the few kind of space things that actually had a family. Because that wasn't as common, back then. I mean, you had spaceships, but you had a crew, and you had, but to have a family in science fiction wasn't nearly as common. So it actually mirrored a lot of the other family-oriented things from the 60s. It was, I mean, even though it was set in space, it was very, much, well, you got this family, and then they have conflicts and things, but it's a family.
That's another thing they kind of got weird. In the very first, the unaired pilot, they talk about how they're actually all like experts in a field, except for the oldest daughter.
Yeah, she was like a singer.
Yeah, so she's given up a
Why would she not be an expert at something?
Yeah, I don't know. Because she's the blonde.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's the girl.
Again, it's that 50s attitude.
Of course, the mother at least had an expert in something.
Well, actually, in the original pilot, and the one that they eventually scrapped, the one that doesn't even have the doctor or the robot in it, the mother was honestly kind of useless herself.
Very typical of the 60s.
And the two younger kids, the boy was like, they mentioned that he's already graduated high school or whatever, and the girl, they mentioned that she has a really high IQ, but that's pretty much
220, I think, is what they said.
That's
so, I mean,
really
she's supposed
high.
to be.
But they didn't say anything else.
But
about
she's
her
useless with it.
Yeah.
She's smart, but she can't do anything.
And again, they totally scrap all these things later on.
But I really like the.
Yeah, she basically was just the pretty girl in the story. She really never.
And the love interest.
And the love interest. Yeah, I don't think she really ever showed that incredible genius much throughout the show.
She got the short end of the stick.
She did. The mother was the only one that even remotely, and even she was mostly the cook.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't count how many times she fixed roasts. They had an endless supply of roasts on the ship.
They must have had cows or something. Pigs. Space cows.
Now, I will say there are several episodes where she grabs a laser rifle and she's right there with them.
Oh, yeah. At least tough that way. That part's good. No. Since you've rewatched a bunch and you've actually watched some recently, do you think it's a show that holds up well over time and is worth rewatching? Or is it one of those that you're like, oh boy?
I'll let you give your opinion of it first.
I think it's worth rewatching for nostalgic sake. For people who weren't around then, they might want to watch it just so they can look at it and go, holy. This is what TV was. This is what special effects were. Yeah, Irwin Allen spared all expenses in special effects. One thing, if you do watch it, take note of the polar bear. And almost whenever he must have owned a taxidermy polar bear, because it appears in I don't know how many episodes. Somewhere in the background, there'll be this stuffed polar bear. Sometimes it's got a hat on. I don't know.
I didn't notice that.
Okay, an inside joke, I guess. Having a polar bear.
Polar bear is in space.
Another inside joke. Their landing pod. There is a number on there. That's Irwin Allen's phone number.
That's pretty cool.
They actually said that on the Sci-Fi Network once when they're doing little trivia things on Lost in Space.
That's neat.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's pretty neat little trivia.
That one I didn't know.
Well, I think some people might not know the original show that much, or maybe not have ever seen it, or whatever. I mean, it is available, I believe, on Hulu now, where people can watch it. But they had the movie that came out in the 90s. I think it was the 90s.
Late
90s or 2000s.
Yeah, somewhere in there. And, excuse me, and of course that updated things somewhat. And in it, for a movie, it was okay. I don't think it ever did anything super spectacular at the box offices or anything like that. But I think people that had grown up watching Lost in Space or probably enjoyed seeing the characters again and that kind of thing, you know. So from that point of view, that might be worth, you know, somebody, you know, picking up the movie and watching it to at least get some of the better points of what Lost in Space was about.
I honestly don't think that the show would really stand up to time very well, because like for example, like people in my generation, like, okay, if you watch the TV show and really go into it with a mindset of this is, you know, a product of its time, it is very dated in a lot of ways, you know, it really is a 60s, you know, really show. So if you really go into it with that and don't take it seriously, just kind of watch it just for like something with kind of a cool concept, I think you could enjoy it, but I think a lot of people aren't really willing to do that.
Well, I don't think it was meant to be taken seriously either, like some science fiction was. I don't think it was meant to be, so that helps a little bit. If you go into it going, oh, this could be something, you know, fun to just kind of sit and watch it. And honestly, if you like history or anything, it's kind of cool to look at how things were done back then and some of the styles.
For a sci-fi show of that time, I think it was good.
And the ship itself, the Jupiter 2, it was a flying saucer. Flying saucers were a big thing in the 60s.
They were. And so, yeah, I think from that point of view, you know, just looking at it from the historical aspect of what people thought the future was going to be. Because this was set like in 1997.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking, you know, we're way past that now. And so it's kind of interesting to see what people thought of the future and what, you know, what they thought things would be like and what, you know.
Speaking of the fact they made their ship a UFO type shape, they did do an episode called Visit to a Hostile Planet where they made it back to Earth, but it made it back to Earth in 1947. And of course,
so then there'd be
they thought there'd be aliens and a flying saucer.
Okay, that makes sense. So that might be a show kind of fun to watch. Yeah. There's probably a few shows in there that are
few episodes.
Also, if you like looking for old celebrities, there's a lot. Just the last one I watched, John Carradine played the alien.
He's in so many things.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I love Babylon 5, and of course Bill Mumy, you know, is in it as well, and so that's just cool to see him as a kid, you know, to see that and how different he looks actually, because he's quite different, and so that's kind of, you know, fun too. So for nostalgic reasons, it might be fun just to pick up and watch a little bit. I'm not sure you could binge watch it, but
I tried.
I watched like 3 or 4 episodes in a row. I was like, yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I got it.
I will say that. Also, Bill Mumy, another little just trivia. He is the author of the song "Roly Poly Fish Heads."
I don't even know
that song.
If you've ever listened to anything on Dr. Demento, it was a favorite.
Okay, Roly Poly Fish Heads.
Yeah, Roly Poly Fish Heads.
That's a good place to stop, I think. Roly Poly Fish Heads. Well, we'll pick out and see. Here, go ahead and pick out a few of those.
You
and
want me to
hand
pick?
Go ahead and pick them, and then
Okay.
hand them towards Dee Dee, and she'll pick one.
Okay.
All right, and then she'll open it up and see what our next topic's going to be.
The Star Trek universe.
Oh, that could be interesting. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll see you next time. And remember, if you like us, to
like this video, subscribe, leave suggestions in the comments.
and tell your friends. And if you're in Muncie, Indiana, definitely visit White Rabbit Books and talk to Derek. He's great wealth of knowledge. Thanks.
Thank you.